What if the phone rings tonight at the Secretary of Defense's house at 2 a.m. and it's his Chinese counterpart in China?
Okay.
They have each other's numbers. You would imagine that they would. And Wang Lo tells our Secretary of Defense, somebody get me his name.
Lloyd Austin.
Lloyd Austin. He says, Lloyd, we got a problem. Now Lloyd's wide awake. What's that? We have a rogue submarine in the Pacific, and we've stumbled upon emails that the captain of the submarine wrote, and he is bent on the destruction of Hawaii to avenge the loss of his wife to COVID. And
It's like Red October?
he is equipped with nuclear missiles. We need you to help us find this submarine. There are depths in the ocean where submarine tracking apparently is not possible.
Right.
There's not many of them, but there are routes submarines can take apparently where they're not traceable. And Wang Lo tells, I'm not mocking his name, I'm just making one up. Wang Lo tells Lloyd Austin, we can't find this guy. And now Austin he's pressing every button in his house, getting the CIA involved, and they call the president. We got to find this submarine. What if it's all a ruse? That they're not going to find the submarine. The Chinese fellow is telling Lloyd Austin a lie. The Chinese know perfectly well where the sub is. They know perfectly well it's going to fire nuclear missiles at Hawaii, and they know perfectly well that the United States will be forced to respond. Thus, China has started a war that they can claim they had no part in because they called and warned the United States about this rogue seafaring captain, this submariner who was down there, and he was bent on this destruction.
No matter what the United States does,
Right.
we're led into war.
So we're worried about Kamala's word salads and Elmer Fudd jumping around like a fruitcake on stage, and we're worried about Trump dancing to music, so-called dancing for 39 minutes. What if there's really important stuff happening in the world? That's the opening plot to a new novel by a guy named Jack Carr. I'm not even out of the prologue yet, and this is what happened. This is what's taking place. And the novel's going to go on to explain how dangerously close the world is to the kinds of technology that we won't be able to control. Now, my question is, we're awash in nonsense in this country.
Yep.
We're awash in meaningless minutia BS. Do we have the right person at 2 o'clock in the morning to answer the phone? Do we have the right people in place to even put together the puzzle that possibly China is lying and we better go find that submarine and take it out? Do we have the right people in place who take the world seriously and understand what's at stake? Because all we know now, if you look at a presidential election, it is the most trivial clown show on both sides of the aisle that you've ever seen in your life. It's meaningless. It's despairing. It's sad. It's pathetic. What if really important, not what if, really important stuff is happening?
Who's
in charge?
Thank you.
Who is in charge?
The speculation you can do on the direction that book. Lloyd Austin needs to be the most cautious person on earth, willing to push the button at 5 seconds notice. Mm-hmm. And then when you push the button, you push all the buttons. You have to take them off the map, right? You can't just send in one strike because then it's going to be back and forth. You have to eliminate China. I love speculating like that, but you're right. The real question is, who's at the strings? Who's the puppet master?
Well, let's put it this way. We get that call at 2 in the morning. I have to think you're not calling Biden.
There's no way you are.
Who are you calling? Who in the hell are you calling?
Okay.
When something serious happens in the world, who do we have dealing with it?
This happens 6 months from now. Let's put both candidates in the Oval Office.
Yep.
What happens when she gets the call? What happens when he gets the call? Who makes the final decision? The president, right? Or does No,
yes.
You don't have time for Congress to weigh in.
No, the president makes
the final down to the war room.
The president makes the final decision.
Who makes the right decision here? Which candidate? Oh boy.
My way of answering that would be which candidate is going to place into position the best people?
True.
But Joe, you either press the button or you don't.
Right.
And in my brain, she waits too long and he's too eager.
That's why my way of answering it is, who have they put in place to handle this exact scenario?
Somebody with the real power.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, boy. I wasn't ready for this on a Wednesday.
Thank God it's not Positive Thursday.
Well, but this presidential campaign is asinine. It's silly.
And you see where we're being led by the polls, right? Neck and neck, dead tie. She's a little better in this poll. He's a little better in that poll.
She does better with women. He does better with men.
We're just being guided.
Who gives a bleep?
We're being guided right down the cattle chute to imminent disaster.
But who are the brains with common sense, grounded, moral, ethical people with sharp minds that are going to handle this 2 a.m. phone call?
Everything there except grounded with, what did you say, something sane minds. We don't have that. That's not an option. Oh, my God.
Well, it was just my way of telling you I'm reading a new book, and and two, that we are caught, people. We are being treated like saps. We are suckers. We're falling for all this BS show when there are serious things that are happening and will happen in the world.
Yep.
Have you
every day the campaign coverage? There's a new Gong Show episode, right?
Yes.
And it's all one big distraction. They're not talking about what matters.
I want to listen to John Hyde.
have you you've seen the movie, or have you seen the movie Failsafe?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, John.
It's essentially the same story, only with a nuclear bombs on airplanes.
These are nuclear in the submarine. It's a certain class submarine that China has sent out that is capable of nuclear missiles.
You read that book in high school.
In Failsafe, there's a mistaken airliner that they think is Russians coming to attack us. U.S. sends out the bomber squadron to drop nuclear bombs on Russia. The president is in contact with the president of Russia. They're trying to tell everybody it's a mistake, including the squadron, but the squadron thinks it's not a mistake, that it's just Russian propaganda. It's a fascinating movie. Henry Fonda plays the president.
Right. Now factor into my scenario, or Jack Carr's scenario, artificial intelligence.
Hal.
That's what we hear.
From the movie Hal. What was the movie, Kyle?
2001?
Yeah.
Space Odyssey.
Yep. Space Odyssey.
We're way beyond Hal.
Are we not friends anymore?
We're way beyond 2001. We're
2024.
Carr is interesting. He picked up where Vince left off. His first book was, I would say, crudely is an unfair word. What's the word I want? It was a first book.
Okay.
You could tell it was a first book.
Unrefined.
The second book is better. The third book was even better. This is the fourth one of his I'm going to start, and I anticipate this will be much better.
That was the evolution of, well, all authors kind of follow that evolution.
Vince's first books were very rudimentary.
Yep.
And then they just got better and better and better, because it's a craft like woodworking, and he just got better and better at it. Same with this guy.
Is he unpredictable?
and his-
I'm not going to figure this out, am I?
No, his Mitch rap is a guy named Reese, James Reese, and he fulfills all the literary dynamics of what a hero should be. He takes care of the bad guys, and he does it, however, improbably. But in this one, again, he's going to be recruited out of his so-called retirement, and he's going to go find out. He's going to solve this, and I can tell you right now, he'll solve it in the United States' favor by the end of the book. China ain't going to win in a James Reese book. China ain't going to win.
Bless America.
Land that I love. So the point is, it got me thinking last night. I switched over to the Service Road of Life, and I said, "This is real." I know it's a novel, but Carr is 23 years military, lifelong SEAL, command leader, all kinds of stuff that Walls, for example, claims to be, and he has great research and great knowledge, and like Vince Flynn, I'm sure he's cultivated extraordinary sources,
Right.
just extraordinary. Vince had a stable of really, really worthy sources, and so does this guy, Carr. And I got thinking, you mean to tell me that we're hung up on Kamala Harris drinking a beer on one of these late-night television shows?
Thank you.
We're hung up on
Thank
whether
you.
Walls can load or not load a shotgun.
Oh my God! Thank you
We're
for
hung up.
saying this.
We're hung up on all of this. B as in B, S as in S, and in the meantime, serious people are doing serious things. Do we have the right serious people? China does, because if you're not serious enough for the regime, they'll just shoot you.
Right. You're done.
So do we have the right people? I have no idea.
Do we?
No idea.
Is it our job to worry about that?
Yes, I am worried about it. What else is there to worry about?
Our daily lives. I mean, we've got to put food on our families.
In our daily lives disappear if serious people decide on a conflagration. Our daily lives are gone.
Whoa.